Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Estee McCrawly with another video. Today we got another double battle here on the battle spot, and today we're gonna be going against another relatively or a pretty meta team from what I understand. My opponent's team was Gardevoir, Amoonguss, Heatran, Crocodile, Rotom Wash, and Hitmontop. So what I have understood from what I remember in the 2015 World Championships, that was before VGC 2016, obviously, but the rules were a little different where there weren't any restricted Pokemon allowed. So if I remember correctly, like 9 out of the top 10 were Japanese players. Like in 2015, Mega Gardevoir was super popular in Japan. So when I saw, I'm like, okay, Mega Gardevoir is also expecting the Trick Room, because I believe the team that won had Trick Room. A whole bunch of them had Trick Room. It's a really good Trick Room Pokemon because it's got high special attack, high special defense, and if you if you give it a negative speed nature, 0 speed IVs, it can get pretty slow. So it works really well with Trick Room. So that was like in 2015 was the more preferable Mega option over the Mega Kangaskhan in favor of the Trick Room. When I saw the Amoonguss, I'm like, okay, a possible Trick Room team, so I'd have to watch out for that. But I decided here that Thundurus wouldn't really be that good. It wouldn't really hit anything on his team for super effective damage. So I decided to bench Thundurus, and also the Arcanine. I didn't see it being too useful. It would help with the Amoonguss, yes, but I also have my Metagross, which will be able to take care of that. So I start off with Hydreigon and the Metagross, and my opponent starts out with Crocodile and the Gardevoir. So here I'm like, okay, well, this isn't half bad of a lead. It's not that bad of a lead at all. The tricky thing is his Crocodile can hit me with a Sucker Punch. I don't know if it has Sucker Punch. I know nothing about Crocodile. But I was like, it could hit me with Sucker Punch. His Gardevoir could Moonblast. I have no idea. So I make a ball here with the Metagross because I'm going on the offensive. But I also have to be careful and protect my Hydreigon since it's going to bring some huge offensive power later in the game. So I go for the Protect here. And my opponent goes for the knockoff onto the Metagross. Luckily, he's not going to knock off my item, but he does do over 50% damage, which was really unfortunate. And I went for the Meteor Mash into the Gardevoir slot, but we see the Amoonguss was holding the Rocky Helmet, so that sucks. But what's going to happen here, he's going to switch out the Amoonguss into the Gardevoir. This guy just likes switching. So, I mean, there's nothing... Like, I protect you with Metagross, since I need him around, because it's really the only thing that'll be able to take care of this Gardevoir. So it was a good prediction. He was predicting Draco Meteor is a fantastic prediction on his part. I didn't, honestly, the switch didn't even come into my mind. But here I go with my Landers, because I want to get the Intimidate off on the Crocodile, because I know, or it did a little bit over half. I'm expecting at -1 attack, it won't be able to knock out my Metagross with a knockoff. And if it doesn't, I'll be able to Meteor Mash the Gardevoir, and if I connect, it's going to be one-hit KO. This thing has no defense. So we do see the knockoff come out, and I'm like, please hold on, and boom! 2 HP, ladies and gentlemen. And Meteor Mash connects, and we are going to be able to knock out this Mega Gardevoir before it does anything except for Mega Evolve. So that is a big threat taken care of. Hydreigon's going to be able to roam a little bit easier in this battle, and my opponent brings back in the Amoonguss. So he's going to switch out the Crocodile here into the Rotom Wash, and he thinks he's a switching champion, but he takes a critical hit damage from the superpower, which would have done over half if it wasn't a crit. But he's going to eat up the Citrus, which is going to put him just under half, so another one won't be able to take it out. And here, I'm so stupid. I made a substitute. I was predicting the Spore into the Metagross. And so I wanted to set up the substitute so that the Spore wouldn't do anything. But I didn't even pay attention that I had 2 hit points. If I went for the Meteor Mash, or if I went for the Zen Headbutt into Amoonguss, I probably would have taken it out. And here I go for the freaking Meteor Mash into a Water type instead of the Zen Headbutt into the Amoonguss. So, honestly, I wasn't even thinking right here. I was not thinking at all. I made some serious mental mistakes, which are going to make a huge impact in this game. So, I mean, both my Pokemon go down. I could have at least taken down one of his 2 Pokemon. If I went Zen Headbutt into either or, it most likely would have taken out, or at least dealt a ton of damage into the Amoonguss. I would have knocked out from Rocky Helmet damage as well, but I still would have. It would have made this a lot easier because now a Draco Meteor would knock out the Amoonguss. So I'm gonna get some mind games here. He decides to protect the Rotom, and I feel like I guess this would have been, well, I guess it was like a 50-50 kind of thing. So I think if I hit Zen Headbutt, this Ice Punch would have knocked out the Amoonguss. So I mean, and I mean I had 2 opportunities to Zen Headbutt as well. So he spores the Hydreigon. He sees it as the bigger threat because the Crocodile's in the back, which can intimidate the Conkeldurr. So he sees that my Ice Punch did over 50% health. So he's going to do like what I did at the beginning, where he's going to bring in his Intimidate so that another Ice Punch won't knock him out. Then he'll be able to spore me and put me to sleep. So a decent play. He obviously learned it from me, so I can't blame him. But so once again, even if I hit him with I get the freeze there, which is fantastic. I'm like, oh yes, that's actually a game-changing freeze. But he dethaws turn 1, so lucky on his part because he only had a 90 or 10% chance to thaw out. And if he didn't unthaw, like I would have been able to hit that Crocodile with a Mach Punch, or a Drain Punch. That would have been huge. So he got lucky there. But I mean, if I hit that Amoonguss with a Meteor Mash, that second Ice Punch would have knocked him out, and that would have been a completely different game. And we see the Crocodile, of course, has superpower. It's not going to be able to knock me out. And he's going to go to -1 attack and defense, which is going to be nice because I'm at -1 attack with the Conkeldurr. So it'll help me deal a little bit more damage. And here I get a nice wake up with the Hydreigon. So I go to sleep. I'm expecting another superpower into that slot. And Conkeldurr also wakes up. And I go for the Mach Punch here. I'm hoping since he's at -1 I'd be able to knock him out. But I was actually kind of underwhelmed by that damage since he's not really that defensive. And he connects with the Hydro Pump, which sucks. And he's going to switch out again. Like I said, this guy likes to switch out. I mean, if I predicted one of these switches, I would have won the game easily. Like, I went for the Mach Punch there. If I was predicting the switch, or if I knew I was faster and I went for the Ice Punch, this game would have been over. So, I mean, I learned a lot from this. I mean, the Dark Pulse is going to knock out the Rotom, which is going to be fine. Although, so one more attack in the life, I'm going to die from, I'm going to knock myself out from Life Orb Recoil. And here he's going to get another Intimidate off. So the problem here is he can protect with Crocodile and then spore my, or spore my Conkeldurr, but he goes for the Rage Powder, which is a beautiful play on his part. I knew this thing has Rage Powder. I had a doubles team with Amoonguss. I know it's moveset. I just didn't even think about that. So he has a super power off on the Conkeldurr and is able to cleanly knock it out. And he's at -1 attack, but it's not going to matter because he outspeeds me and I am super low anyways. And I go for the Draco Meteor. I double targeted the Crocodile because that was the big threat. But that misdirection from Rage Power really putting in some work. So I'm going to knock out the Amoonguss, but I'm going to feint Life Orb Recoil, but it wouldn't matter because Crocodile would have outsped me and knocked me out. So that's going to be game 1-0 for my opponent. But like I said, there were some serious mental mistakes there. I went for a substitute with 2 HP. Like, I literally was not even thinking. I was like, oh, he's probably going to go for Spore. I'm going to set up the substitute. So he wastes his Spore, and I'm behind a substitute. But I was at 2 HP. He didn't even attack me that turn. I knew I was at 2 HP. If I went for the Zen Headbutt, that would have been a completely different game because Amoonguss would have been knocked out by 2 Ice Punches from the Conkeldurr. And he wouldn't have been able to put Conkeldurr to sleep and a whole bunch of other stuff. So, I mean, the Crocodile would not have been able to do even 50% damage to me with any of its attacks on the Conkeldurr, so I would have been able to Drain Punch and steal it all back. So and even with Rotom, you saw the Hydro Pump did like 30-40% damage to me because of the Assault Vest. So some serious mental mistakes. At the beginning, I played fantastic. I got rid of that Mega Gardevoir from the nice switch in with the Intimidate to survive the second knockoff, but that mental mistake with going for a substitute with 2 HP and then going for a Meteor Mash onto Rotom Wash, which would resist it. So even if I went for a Zen Headbutt, it might have knocked it out. So I learned a lot from this battle, though. that's a pretty meta team. The Rotom Wash was really meta. Amoonguss is meta. The Mega Gardevoir. I know this guy was from Japan. It's super, or at least it was in 2015, super meta in Japan. So in the future, I might make a Mega Gardevoir team. I really like Mega Gardevoir, very similar to Sylveon. But hope you guys learned a few things from the battle. I sure did. So in the future, you guys can hold me accountable if I try and make a substitute with less than 25% health, or if I go for a steel type move into a water type Pokemon. But hope you guys enjoyed. That's gonna be it for this video. Let me know if you guys got any suggestions for me for my team. If you got any rage for me for making such stupid mistakes. But that's gonna be it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time.